Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how us parents have nothing to talk about to non-parents.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hey, welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how those of us who have kids but have friends that do not have kids, when we get together, there's this awkwardness of nothingness to talk about. So what prompted this? My wife and I had one of her girlfriends over for the holiday. We like to lay low on the 4th of July, as you guys know. And her girlfriend comes over. We haven't seen her in a while. We're grilling out. She... getting caught up. She has a new job, so we're asking her about, how it feels. She was in corporate America for a number of years, and for about 4 years, she went off and was a yoga instructor. And although rewarding in a lot of ways, she just decided to go back to corporate America as she got an opportunity that she just couldn't refuse. So she's telling us how work is and the traveling that she has to do for her new job and all this other stuff. And she's like, so, it's a long weekend. She's like, so what do you guys have planned for the rest of the weekend? And we're like, we're just kind of laying low. Mind you, we just went on 2 vacations over in the last month. And traveling with kids, can be challenging. So, we're looking forward to a relaxing 4th of July weekend. And we have some other volunteer commitments that we need to, honor. So I have something on Saturday. The wife has something on Sunday. But overall, we're just chilling. And she's like, also, what you guys do the rest of the day today? And I'm like, the lawn needed some mowing. So I took care of that. And Lisa's like, we had to do some grocery shopping. and it's just, our days are consumed with, our careers. But outside of our careers and what we do, and me maybe having to do a podcast or an interview or bring on another client, outside of the normal workday, it's just funny to me. And it's not like we were objecting to what she was saying, but I don't think the answers we were providing were as exciting as she had hoped. And I internally was finding it comical because she's like, because her world, right? So she's like, I went shopping. I went to the mall. They had, sales on things I wanted today. And after that, it's, what shows are you guys watching on television? Television? What's television? There's a whole bunch of stuff on a DVR backed up from last year that we just never going to get to because, again, and parents out there, listen, I don't know jack about parenting, but I know this. Once we decided to be parents, those of us who are pouring into our children, our lives become, at some level, right, secondary. We need to plan time for ourselves, and most parents do not, so I encourage you to do so. But when you look at the everyday functionality of what it is that we go through, I literally just dropped the little one off at daycare. It's Friday. I said, are we leaving him home or you bring him? She says, they're open, he's going. I need a rest. Her rest consists of bringing the other one and spending some quality time with the older son. That's rest to her, because she doesn't have two boys. I have a full work day. And someone who's in corporate America and has the 4-day weekend with no kids is, I'm shopping, I'm going to a barbecue, I'm going to have a pool day. You know what? Now I just did the normal weekend. What do I do with the next 2 days? Let me go get my hair done. Let me get a manicure, a pedicure, and this is not a bad thing. And probably those moms, any mom listening to this right now is probably like, oh my goodness, that sounds like heaven. But it's because they can be selfish, if you would. Right? Their responsibility is to themselves. I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, where I just asked my wife, what time are you going to, they're going to, you're going roller skating, I believe. What time are you going? She's like, they open at 10, I'm going at 10. What time are you coming back? I figure I spend 3 or 4 hours there. Me, I'm working till 5. But as soon as 5 strikes, I'm sure the baby will be home by then. My wife will pick him up probably around 2 or 3. And then it goes into kid mode until about 9 o'clock when they're both in bed and asleep. And by then, seeing we've been up since 5:30, the DVR does go on. It's funny. What do you want to watch? My wife's response typically is, I don't want to watch anything I need to pay attention to because I know I'm going to fall asleep. And I was like, don't you want to watch that show that's been on the DVR for the last 18 months? No. I'm going to want to watch it and I'm going to fall asleep. And I chuckle because it's the truth. So I'm not saying that there's nothing to talk about. I'm just saying that our worlds are in 2 different places. I'll give this other example of, I was just with my 2 best friends, both of which have 2 kids, just like myself. And after the initial normal banter that guys have, whether it's talking about old times or whatever, we don't get together that often. It got quickly into their kids and the therapy that their kids are going through and some of the challenges they're going through, which quickly turned into some of the challenges that the world is going through in politics. And because we're all dads of kids that are 10 years old or younger, and we run the gamut. I think we have a 10, an 8, a 7, a 5, a 3, and a 1.5 is the age. There's six of them. So we just across the board from 1.5, 21 months, sorry, to 10 years old. We're in it. And as we're talking about life, we're talking about politics and how it's affecting our kids. And one of my buddies looks, he goes, man, we're all grown up. We're talking about our kids and politics. And it's kind of funny. But it's where we are in our life cycle. This is the season of life we're in where there are other people that we're raising that are much more important than our needs. And although we need to fill ourselves up, and maybe I'll do a podcast on this about how you need to make time for yourself as a parent. In this season of life when we're just pouring into these little people, those who don't have little people can be selfish and cannot fathom how much energy it takes to raise amazing children. I don't know jack about parenting, but I know this: it's all gonna be worth it. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.